Hi, I'm Chris, thanks for joining me. 12 months ago, I made a video about the iPhone 13 Pro, my first ever iPhone, love it. 12 months on, here we are, and today, I'm going to tell you why I won't be upgrading to the iPhone 14. Stay tuned. I want to start by saying the iPhone 14 looks awesome, but is it enough awesome to justify upgrading from the 13 to the 14? I've looked at all the information and I've decided for me, it isn't. So here's why. I'm going to start by going through some of the upgrades the 14 has over the 13, starting with the 48 megapixel camera. Wow, 48 megapixels, that sounds amazing. The iPhone 13 only has 12. You know what? The iPhone 13 Pro camera looks stunning. I don't really crop into my photos or blow them up enough to really need 48 megapixels. I'm sure it's better and it's nice to have, but it's just something that doesn't get me excited enough to upgrade. Next up is a larger sensor in the camera, and because I use the camera so much on the iPhone, this is a feature that I was particularly interested in. It's not just 50% bigger, it's 65% bigger. So that means that it should be better in lower light. The 13's not great in low light. I've seen some side-by-side comparisons and the 14 looks a bit better in low light. There's still some grain. I still wouldn't choose to shoot in low light on my phone. The other thing that a larger sensor allows is more light to come into the camera, so that should allow us to get better separation between the subject and the background, so we get a blurrier background. I've seen side-by-sides and yeah, it's maybe a little more blurry on the 14, but it's just not blurry enough to get me excited. Cinematic mode. This is what Apple made a big deal about with the release of the iPhone 13, and it's a pretty cool feature. I've only used it once or twice. I just don't find the digital racking of focus realistic enough to make it better than just using the regular camera. On the 13, I can shoot 4K 24 frames per second, which is my preference, whereas in cinematic mode, you're limited to 1080p at 30 frames per second. So yeah, I was pretty bummed out about that. But with the 14, we have the upgrade to shoot in cinematic mode at 4K at 24 frames per second. But I'm still not convinced that digital racking of focus is good enough to want to shoot in cinematic mode. I think I would still probably just choose the regular camera. So it's good, we've got the upgrades to cinematic mode, but I'm not excited. All right, strap yourself in for this next one because this is a good one. We have safety features. Yes! Just what I was hoping for on the new iPhone 14. Actually, I'm joking around because I think these safety features are really good. We have the SOS, which gives the phone a satellite signal. So if you're in an emergency situation with no phone signal, you can still get a message out. We also have crash detection. If you're in a car, if you have a crash, the phone will recognize that and be able to call out the emergency services and get to your crash. So as much as I think these features are great, they are features that hopefully I'll never use. I've gone this far without them. I can wait another 12 months. They are features that will still be in the iPhone 15, I should imagine, so I'll wait until then. For now, safety features, not excited. All right, now if you thought safety features was sexy, this one is even sexier because we have the dynamic island. So you know the little notch where the camera is on the phones? A lot of people didn't like that. People thought it was ugly, so Apple have devised quite an ingenious way of not only making something not look as ugly, but actually making people think that ugly little notch was cool. In all honesty, I don't have a problem with a notch. Absolutely fine, it doesn't bother me. Some people hate it, but you know what? I don't even notice it. So dynamic island, cool idea. It'll probably still be on the iPhone 15. For now, not excited. Next up is action mode. This is a mode that gives us enhanced stabilization, so you can run after people with your phone and it be pretty smooth. I've just not really found myself running after anyone with my phone and wishing the footage was more stabilized. In order to get this extra stabilization, the camera has to crop in slightly anyway, so you lose some of the picture from around the edges. Stabilization on the 13 is amazing. This blew me away. I have not had a problem with this phone not being stabilized enough. Action mode just isn't something that I think I will use, certainly not enough to warrant upgrading, so not excited. What about the brand new A16 chip that is driving the iPhone 14? I mean, the A15 in the 13 is pretty slick. I've not had any problems with the performance of this phone at all. From what I can see, the A16 doesn't seem to offer that much better performance over the A15, so A16, not excited. Phone design, what's the difference? Nothing. The 14 looks exactly the same as the 13, aside from the camera sticking out a little bit more on the back of the 14. No radical new design overhaul here, which makes me think, yes, I would love to have that phone just because of the way it looks. I really hope they don't change the look of the phone. By the time I come to get in the 15, I hope it looks exactly the same as the 13, because I think the iPhones at the moment are looking great. So no phone design to get me excited. So a whole lot of things for me not to get excited about. Here's where I'm at with my phone contract, because this definitely plays into my decision. I'm 12 months into a 24-month contract with the iPhone 13. I can upgrade anytime. I could upgrade to the 14 for a couple of £100, but I would have to trade this phone in. I wouldn't get to keep this phone. My plan is to upgrade in 12 months time and get the phone for free, and I can gift this phone to my wife, who is thinking about migrating over from Android to Apple. In the meantime, I get to enjoy this awesome phone for another 12 months, and then I get to give my wife a lovely gift. And let me tell you, wife points get me way more excited than any of the features on the iPhone 14. Look, I don't want you to think I've been too down on the iPhone 14 here. It looks like an amazing phone. I'm just talking about the incremental upgrades that it has over the 13, and for me, taking everything into account and the phone contract I'm on, it's just not worth it. The iPhone 14 looks amazing, and if you have anything older than the iPhone 13, then upgrading is probably worth it. If you're upgrading from the 13 to the 14, I'd be intrigued to hear from you. What is it about the new features on the 14 that's making you want to get that new phone? Or is it just because you're coming to the end of a contract? Let me know, leave some comments down below so we can have a conversation. If you like this video, give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.